Your heart is in a lot of pain when people don't see and understand you. So I was contemplating a suicide every single night for maybe almost 4 months of my life. I would cry in the middle of the night, and I would, ask this question that, God, why have you put me in this place?
Definitely, you had an incredible journey, and as you rightly mentioned that you faced a lot of challenges also during this journey. So, would you enlighten us what sort of challenges you faced and how you overcome those challenges?
Well, first I want to say, thank you for having me on this talk, I think you're doing it. Because we never know, who we will touch, by doing this. That's the beauty, of sharing this gift. I think, anybody you take up as a successful person, who inspires you, right? Let's say, or who you admire their achievements, right, for what they have done, from where they started to where they are. They went for a journey, and in that journey there were challenges. So yes, there have been many challenges. If I start from my childhood, right, staying in a one-room house in Calcutta, had a lot of financial difficulties. I remember when Durga Puja would come, which is a big festival for Calcutta. It is a time of the year, when people would go for lavish shopping. Like they would get a couple of new clothes, a couple of other new things done. For us, it would be one pair of new clothes. That's the only time we would get a new pair of clothes. So we would wait, for Durga Puja. It was one of the exciting times of my life. And even to this day, if it is around October time, and no matter where I am in the world, I feel the vibes of the Durga Puja inside my body somewhere. So I think, one of my biggest challenges which I would like to talk about, when I was 16 years old, my father had a major accident with his Ambassador taxi. He used to drive this Ambassador cab. So he did not have a choice. He had to uproot us from Calcutta, which one-room house he was renting, and bring us back to a village, which is quite remote, in that time. I'm talking about 1994. A lot of people don't know about, my district, my area. It's Sangrur. We normally say, we're from Ludhiana. Ludhiana is like 50 kilometers from my village. So this is a very remote village. Sangrur is anyways, it's kind of a backward district for Punjab. So moving from Calcutta to a remote village in Punjab had a huge contrast in 1994. I was getting laughed and teased around by my peer group in Calcutta. But from there, when I went to Punjab, these guys were a little bit more different than me. Most of them did farming, so they were physically a bit stronger. Most of them had beards, they would wear a turban. They were maybe a little bit more taller than me, and maybe a bit more fairer in complexion, most of them. So they made me, feel like a complete stranger. So from getting laughed and teased at, I was getting bullied and abused by these macho guys. I still remember, my days of going to Ludhiana to study, which was almost a 2 hours journey one way, 2 hours journey back. When I used to get down in my village, just a few villages before I would come close to my village, I would take my glasses off, because it was looked upon as a sign of weakness. You could be a target, if you're wearing glasses during those times. It's very easy to talk about it now, but your heart is in a lot of pain when people don't see and understand you. So I was contemplating a suicide every single night for maybe almost 4 months of my life. I would cry in the middle of the night, and I would ask this question that, God, why have you put me in this place? Why can't I go back to Calcutta and be in the place I was comfortable in? This was a very uncomfortable place to be in. What I did at the age of 16 to combat that situation? I started growing my beards. I started wearing a turban to tell my people around me that, hey, listen, I am one of you. I'm sure we all do the things like that sometimes in our life.
Please others.
Yes, which is not us. We just do it for the sake of getting accepted from the people around us. So I was there, I was in a very miserable condition at that age. And after that, I had many challenges, I started a lot of businesses in my early ages, it all failed. I started a computer business. I did a video, long back when I revisited my computer center. The paints are still there a little bit, the name of the company is called. I took a franchise from Patiala. I was just 20 that time. Then I opened up, a cab business, where you take people and drop them into the call centers. So through a friend's help, I took up the wrong vehicle. It was all messed up vehicle, and I was in bigger problem. That business went down. Then I started something called a tuition center in Delhi with another, my teacher. Again, for a few reasons it came down. Then I did some couple of properties in the initial stages in Delhi. My clients did well, but my personal ones went down. I bought something in Batti. It was a loss. Then I went to UK, I had a visa rejection, a bigger one. I had to fight back. I fought back a case legally for a couple of years. I couldn't come to India for 5 years. So that was a very painful period. You can't see your parents, like physically meet them. And I had some few breakups, like proper ones, just because I was not from a decent background. I didn't make a decent salary. So the girl's family wouldn't even agree to meet me, forget about considering me later on. They rejected me just by my profile, looking at my profile saying, oh, first, he doesn't have a job. Maybe later, it was like he does a call center work, which is a night shift. He makes about 20,000 rupees a month. So yeah, there have been many, those challenges, but it has made me who I am today.
So kind of you can say it was a forging days where you were getting forged to do some better things.
Yes, जैसे कहते हैं ना हिंदी में कि वो आपको आग में डाला जाता है भट्टी में तराशने के लिए. So the universe was tarashing me, was carving me to become the person I am today.
Right.
And if today you ask me what is the biggest thing you would ask if you have a wish to be granted, I would ask Krishna, Vaheguru, Allah, Jesus, whatever that name you put it, right, the universal force, to keep my spirit alive. If my spirit is alive, right, I can regain everything else. If my spirit is down, right, then I cannot acquire anything else back again. So you can take everything away from me, but keep my spirit alive. I can regain and make everything possible.
And it is rightly said that the greater your struggles are, the greater will your success will be.
Yes, provided you're ready to overcome those struggles. A lot of people, they bog down under the struggle and find a comfortable corner and never look into bigger things in life. But people like you and me, who are crazy, you have to be crazy to be successful. We face the struggle, we challenge it from the front, and we find a way to move around and create a solution or find a destiny which suits us.
Definitely.